This is the real truth about Der Eisendrache in Black Ops 3 Zombies. Even though the map has released 9 years ago, does it still hold up within 2025? I'll be looking at 5 categories: aesthetics, design, overall gameplay, wonder weapons, and the Easter egg to determine if Der Eisendrache still holds true 9 years later. Let's do this. So after we were fighting zombies in the city landscape of Shadows of Evil, we were then tasked to go to a place called Griffin Castle, and this was the first time in zombies history where we would see this type of environment. Not to mention, on top of that, it was a snowy environment, which the last time we saw it was in Origins. There is something about a warm, cozy, snowy map that just tickles my heartstrings personally. And also, there was a landscape that was out in the distance in Spawn, with cozy houses to a beautiful view, and even those 1,000-foot robots from Origins. This really did have an aesthetic to be believed. On top of that, there was some cool artwork and rich history sprawling the castle, and even a disco ball Easter egg that made you want to party inside the castle. There was one downside though that I could say, is that there was not a special round where there would be this blizzard environment going on. Overall though, this is one of the best looking maps that we have ever had in the series, so for the aesthetic side, I'm going to be giving this a 9 out of 10. So the map design was kind of a weird one. You know, you had your open train spaces that you can actually go and train, but also having some very tight spaces inside the map, making it literally impossible to traverse through certain parts of the map. You also did have an upper floor and a bottom floor. The bottom floor being where one of the Pack-a-Punch locations is, where one of the Ragnarok's parts is, and that's kind of a more open environment, but it does get shut off by the rocket test site, so therefore you're locked in that certain area unless you do decide to teleport back, or take the Wonder Sphere back. But talking about the top side of things, the map kind of did flow a little bit well. You got to pick your classic right or left side. I always picked the right side because I don't know, I just got used to that. But Juggernog was also in a very good but very peculiar place, being right in that tight space between spawn and where, you get one of the dragon heads to actually clear the room, and also where the teleporter is. So Juggernog was, a good thing to earn within that map, but the location of it, which is the most important perk in Zombies history, it's just really not located in a good spot. However, you do have some other perks of the map, like Speed Cola and Stamina being located in the power. Overall, the map design is okay. If you're a casual, you are going to have a harder time actually surviving on this map, but I'll talk about the gameplay and the Wonder Weapon side later, which makes things a little bit easier. But the Juggernaut location was okay, and also the map design with its core interiors and the rocket test pad being closed off maybe a 30% of the time is, some of the bad stuff. But overall, I would have to give this map an 8 out of 10 for its design. Alright, so the overall gameplay of this, I'm going to split this into 2 sections here. One being the veteran zombies player, and one being the casual zombies player. Let's go over the veteran side first, because I feel like that's a lot easier to talk about. Because if you're a veteran, you already know how to actually play zombies, you know where to go, you know what weapons to get, especially if you're a Black Ops 3 Zombies veteran. So you shouldn't have an issue with this whatsoever, especially if you get the wonder weapons, which I'm going to talk about next. Something like the electric bow, you're pretty much set till around 100, especially with Gobblegums to help you out. And also, there being Juggernog, Stamina, Speed Cola, you're pretty much all set to go. And even though there's going to be an occasional Panther that may throw you off guard, or maybe even 2 during one specific round, even with like the Hellhounds where you get a max ammo, and like I said, if you have stuff like the electric bow and even the traps and the rocket shields and the Ragnaroks, you're going to be all set to go. But if you're a casual on this map, it is going to be very difficult for you to survive. Like I talked about in my overall gameplay, just the tight corridors, the fact that one of the best wonder weapons is the fact that you have to build it, so you have to look up the steps. For a casual zombies player out there, this may not be their go-to map. They may want to play something a little bit easier, like BearZ, or maybe even Nocturne, where they can actually learn the basics, because this map, I can tell you, is not beginner friendly. This is one of the most advanced maps maps within Call of Duty Zombies history. The fact that you have to, train in these tight areas and also deal with Panzer Soldats. And if you want to get the best weapons, you're going to have to actually build it and do part of the main quest, which I'm going to talk about later. So overall, if you are a veteran, this overall gameplay is straight up a 10 out of 10. But I'm going to deduct maybe a point or two from the casual side of things, because I want to look at it on both sides here. That I'm going to give the gameplay an 8.5 out of 10. So the wonder weapons of this map, being bow and arrows with elemental variants, were some of the coolest wonder weapons that we've had, clearly taking inspiration of the elemental staffs that we had within Black Ops 2 Origins. The way to actually obtain these bows is a little bit different and a little bit easier. You start off by filling 3 dragon heads with zombies, then you go down to where the crypt area is, where that coffin is, then you get the standard bow. The best part is, this wasn't the only variant, and there were actually 4 elemental variants that you just build and you get. The fire, lightning, void, and wolf bows were all honestly pretty cool wonder weapons, a lot different than the origin staffs that we had in Black Ops 2. Not to mention, like I just said, they were very easy to build, and I promise you, if you're a casual looking up on this guy, they're not super difficult to make. They're pretty easy to build, and these weapons are going to get you to high rounds, especially the lightning bow, because it is by far one of the best wonder weapons in Call of Duty Zombies history, and with alchemical, you're pretty much good to go, and with the dog round every round. So honestly, for my take on this, these wonder weapons are a 10 out of 10. Perfect wonder weapons. Alright, so now I have to talk about the Easter egg, and man, oh man, oh man, this is one of my favorite Easter eggs of all time. Not to mention, it was my first Easter egg that I have ever completed, so I really do hold some nostalgia for this. So if you're a casual watching and you want to catch up on the Easter egg, here it is. Essentially, our OG crew, Dempsey, Nikolai, Takio, and Richthofen, were pretty much after Shadows of Evil, have to collect souls of those 4 characters. The first one being Tank Dempsey, the fact that you go back in time, the fact that you have to, shoot Dempsey out of the sky, and the fact that I believe that this is the first boss fight within Call of Duty Zombies history. I could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure is that you have to fight the Gatekeeper, and just overall, the whole entire vibe of this Easter egg is really something else to be believed. And if you haven't completed the Eisendrache Easter egg yet, I recommend grabbing you and 3 of your buddies to actually complete this within 2025. I promise you, from the beginning to the middle to the end, you will not be disappointed. And if you really want to catch up on the lore, even though it really doesn't have anything to do now, obviously everything got sucked through the dark ether, which is where we are in Black Ops 7. But the whole entire Easter egg is just a ginormous masterpiece. Like, I really love this Easter egg. Will I complete it again? Yes. But, it's not really like my main sort of, map here, with myself. But honestly, if I was told if I had to complete this Easter egg again for $100, I definitely would, because this is one of my favorite Zombies maps, Easter eggs of all time. So for the Easter egg here, it kind of does have a little bit of a difficulty curve, but not really. So for this map, I'm going to give the Easter egg a 9 out of 10. So after adding up all the scores that we did and taking the average of it, I got an average score of 8.9. But for the sake of this video, to give Eisendrache the upper hand, we are going to be giving it a 9 out of 10, which is pretty much a passing score. And if I had to say so myself, I think this map is one of the best maps in Call of Duty Zombies history. So the real truth is actually coming out, and that this is really one of the most perfect maps in Call of Duty history. We have not seen a map like this in so long. I'm hoping that Black Ops 7 can actually top something like Eisendrache, but truth be told, this map is honestly perfect. It really just does everything well. But if you are a casual, you are going to have a harder time on this map than someone like me or someone like someone else who's pretty much just like a veteran who has been playing zombies for the longest time. But don't worry, casuals. Get there, watch videos, just have fun with the map. Just experience it, because I promise you, this map is really going to surpass all of your expectations out there. And that is going to be it for today's video, guys. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. What map should I do next? Should I do Mob of the Dead, or should I do Zetsubo no Shima? Because you all know where that's probably going to go. But if you guys like this sort of structure of the video, let me know, because if I do future map retrospectives like this, then I'll follow the same exact format for every single Zombies retrospective going forward. Also, I just want to say thank you guys so much for 100 subscribers. I did post a thank you video, so it really does mean a lot. And honestly, I really do like this series. So if we can continue this momentum, honestly, I just can't wait. But if you guys did enjoy the video, smash the thumbs up button. Subscribe if you guys do want to see more videos like this. I just want to say thank you guys so much. This is BearZ signing off. Stay healthy, stay clean. Bye.